guys. I'm blown away. For those of you who are new, this is our third owner call, and we'll be beginning in about like 30 seconds or so. One thing I would like to ask everybody to do is just spread out. If you could, I know we're all sitting in the chairs right now, but if we could all just spread out in this room a little bit, like even if you don't want to go out into the booths over there, just sit around here. Let's just kind of get spread out, and you could sit down in the corners. You can sit wherever you want, um, just so we're all not packed in here, if that's okay. I'll be flying around the whole room, and so will the owners and managers. So, awesome, cool. Thank you so much, guys. Oh man, I'm just absolutely blown away at what we've created in just 23 days. It feels like just yesterday we were doing our first owner call, and it's crazy because some of the names I see here are players who were in the first owner call. But there's also so many new players in here, and just how fast our community has been growing. In the back end, you guys haven't really heard us talk that much lately, and I promise you that's because we've been heavily focused on this release and making sure that everything is perfect. But more than anything, we wanted to host this owner call to really connect with the players, and especially many of the new players, to let them hear our voice and kind of understand the vision behind Mineclub. So for those of you who have been part in our previous owner calls, I might be repeating a lot of the information that we've said before. It's all because we have so many new faces. Our community is growing so fast, and we think it's important to just kind of let everybody know what our plans are. So if you hear me say the RuneScape story or something like that again, just keep in mind it's a great story. This is the last time I'm gonna mention it. Um, but yeah, guys. So let's begin. Pretty much, my name is Nix. I'm one of the owners of Mineclub. We have an amazing core team of 3 owners and 2 managers. Myself, executive Joey, Hylix, Reese, Liam. His username is Alcol, and Rasho. And then we have an amazing team of creators, modelers, builders, creative writers. I think I saw Leapfrog in here somewhere. She just joined our team a few days ago. She's one of our creative writers that's going to be handling a lot of the lores and messaging. And just in general, we have such an amazing team that far exceeds just the 5 of us flying around here. But we have in total, I think, about 13 or 14 people that are working day in, day out to make this vision come to life. And I mean, who this is just insane seeing all of you sitting in these booths and seeing this many players in a voice call. I sure haven't seen anything like this on any Minecraft server in before. So again, I'm just a little blown away, especially when I'm on the side of being one of the owners of this such a marvelous project. So for those of you who just joined our community in the recent week or 2 weeks, I wanted to kind of give you a rundown of what Mineclub is all about. Because right now, when you log into Mineclub, it might be a little confusing. You just see a bunch of people sitting around AFKing, and it's a little weird right now. But essentially, Mineclub is a huge open world. It's a huge open world where the basis of it all is to socialize and make friends. There's 2 main parts to the server. There's a social aspect, which has the hangout rooms, things like nightclubs, beaches, indoor pools, camping grounds, hotels, and many other different hangout rooms and social areas you can go to and make friends in. And then there's also the game portion. So what many of you have been exposed to is our tabletop version of our games. And those are our 1v1 games like Connect 4, Tic-Tac-Toe, Lucky Shot, and Match 5. And there's going to be a few more coming out over the coming week. Well, one more coming out this week, I can guarantee. But our goal is to continue to add on more tabletops. But for main release, we plan on having a few big title games. And I don't want to reveal the games quite yet, but there's going to be a lot of custom titles made by Mineclub, like Tag and Surfing. And then we also, over time, plan to incorporate big name games like Bed Wars, Sky Wars, Build Battle, Murder Mystery, all the games that you know and love on many big networks. And of course, we want to do that with our level of quality and our little resource pack touch. So all in all, what we're trying to do on Minecraft is create an experience like none other. We want you to be able to play games, have fun, and have dozens of different modes and options to choose from. But we also want you to have places to go to just chill, relax, make friends, socialize, and actually find people to play with. I think that we can all agree that that on a lot of the minigame servers right now, most notable one, I'm just gonna say it, Hypixel, right? I mean, we've all heard that name before. One thing that's really lacking on Hypixel is the fact that they've got all these marvelous games, but there's really no way to make friends on Hypixel. You can't really go into a hub and be like, "Oh, hey, like, does anybody want to play Bed Wars with me?" Like, there's just no environment on Hypixel that allows you to go in and just chat and socialize and make friends. And even though right now Mineclub is just one big floating hub and we're all one centralized chat, in the future, especially for release, as there's nightclubs and beaches and indoor pools and all these different places to go to and visit, they're all going to be individual little chat rooms with like 15, 20 people. And a lot of the use cases for social interaction are going to be used more once the server's actually released. But for now, one of the main things that you guys see going around is people are collecting beta hats. So as if Mineclub wasn't already exciting enough with this awesome way of making friends and actually a server that's focused on that initiative. One of the coolest things about Mineclub is the economy. So right now, a lot of you guys, haven't really been exposed to what Mineclub really is fully about when it comes to the cosmetics. Because right now, you can actually purchase all the hats on our NPCs and all that like they're nothing. The only really valuable hat right now is the beta hat. But the cool thing about Mineclub and every single hat is that um, every hat is tokenized. So the thing is, when you get a hat, and this is something that's not really that important. The players don't really even need to know this, but from a back end perspective, it's very interesting stuff. But whenever you get a hat on Mineclub, it comes with like a serial number, like a UID. It's a unique identifier number that gets assigned to each hat. So if an item ever gets duped, let's say, a couple months from now, a user finds a really big duplication bug and they start duping hundreds of beta hats. The cool thing is that the way that our system is made is that you can't even dupe items because all they would be duping is the same item with that serial number. The only thing on the server that has access to the serial numbers is our backend, and that's something that cannot be hacked because we have a team of 7 system administrators that secure our network and firewall, and they work for many other companies and stuff like that. But all I'm saying is our network is very secure in comparison to many other servers. But even then, we run daily backups and all that. So the point is that the economy is very important, especially when you look at beta hats, right? So beta hats are hats that are only given out this month. And I know I've said this story a bunch of times to you guys. If you guys have been to any of our voice calls and you heard me talk, odds are you've probably heard this story. But there's so many people in here who haven't heard this. So I'm just gonna say it one more time. But when I was growing up, I played a game called RuneScape, and when the game first came out, they dropped thousands and thousands of these hats called party hats. And they were these crowns, and they had 6 different colors, or it might have been 7, like blue, purple, green, yellow, and so on. And then 4 weeks later, the game developers announced that they would never ever drop any more party hats, and only the people who picked them up would be able to decide what to do with them, whether to hold on to them, collect them, trade them, sell them, drop them, delete them. It was just up to the community to decide on the price. And immediately these hats skyrocketed because they were never ever being spawned in again. Only the players who had them were able to determine the price. So what we're doing, and I guess to conclude to that story, these hats, again, RuneScape is a very small game now, but fast forward to 2020, it's been a good amount of years since they've done that, but fast forward to 2021, sorry, just one of those hats goes for about 4,000 USD right now. Just one of those hats that were being dropped, thousands of them. And my point to you guys is that you guys have found Mineclub at such an early stage. We have such crazy ambitions, and I don't want to make this owner call too long, so I'm just going to give a quick rundown. But our team has ran many servers in the past. Most notably, we ran a server called Dysteria. We had over 1 million player joins. It was a very, very big project, a very successful project. We had over 3,000 concurrent players on at all times. And yeah, it was just, so we've run, and even before that, we had many other projects that reached over 1,000 concurrent players. So when it comes to Mineclub, we've really put our full focus into this network, and we have some very, very big ambitions to market this, and we have a huge marketing budget, over $250,000 being executed over the next 4 months, once release happens. So you guys have found Mineclub at a very special point in time. right before things are going to blow up. And one of the things that we thought would be really cool to do is integrate this system from RuneScape, or kind of get inspired by it and have something called beta hats. And yeah, so that's what beta hats are. For those of you who are confused or maybe joined today, or don't really understand why people are so hungry for these beta hats, it's essentially because once the server releases, these beta hats are never going to be given out again. Only the players who have them right now will have them, and they'll be sold on the market, and the price will go up and up every single month. So one thing I recommend for all of you, if you don't have a beta hat yet, it's not too late. There's about there is about 7 more days before release, and just statistically, if you leave your computer on and you AFK and you aim to collect the beta hat, you should be able to get at least 1 to 3 by the time release occurs. So it's still not too late to get a beta hat. But this is probably the last owner call where I'm even going to talk about these beta hats and really emphasize on them. More than anything, I want you guys to have them so that you're rewarded in the future. Because as Mineclub grows and as we have more and more players, one thing that we want to retain is this beautiful community that we've built from the start. Like you guys are here like just so early on, and you guys have shown so much support. And what we want to do is in the future, we want to make it so that any user who has a beta hat will have access to a /beta command. And that /beta command will give you access to a private lounge. So very similar how Mineclub is spread into beaches, indoor pools, nightclubs, etc., and even like a staff lounge for our staff. Like the server is divided into many hubs, and we plan on adding a special lounge just for the beta players. And granted, there's only about 2,500 beta hats ever in existence. We hope to see many of you in that lounge. I mean, 4, 5, 6 months from now, when the server has 10,000, 15,000 players online, it's going to be. I mean, already, with this many players online, I'm flying around and seeing so many familiar faces that were here from week 1 and week 2, and it's just such an amazing feeling to know that hopefully we'll see many of these same faces a few months from now, even when there's so many players online. But nonetheless, that is kind of the basis of Mineclub. It's this hat economy, this cool cosmetic. It's completely having cosmetics doesn't give you any influence or anything like that. It's not anything that's swayed on the network, but it is a very cool system. And through playing mini games and through participating in events, and in the future participating in our bigger owner calls and big tournaments and crazy events that are going to have thousands of players, we'll have different hats and exclusive hats that are going to be given out. And it's just going to make up such a beautiful network with so much variety. Because Mineclub at its core has hats, titles, and then handheld items. So hats, I mean, we all know a general basis. Right now, we only have about 20 of them on the network, but there's going to be many. For release, we already have about 80 planned right now, but we're slowly adding more and more. Our modelers are working very hard to create more. We're also going to have a base of handheld items, so things like money bags, pillowcases, lightsabers, teddy bears, coffee mugs, laptops, all sorts of items that you can hold in your hand that are also collectible. Some will be rarer than others, some will be less rare. And then titles, of course. Right now we have, I don't know the number of titles that we have, but there's going to be hundreds of titles. There's going to be things for everybody. And already, I mean, just the other day, I saw a player wearing a Vader title, and they were bragging about the fact that they're a huge Star Wars fan, and that kind of just gave me a little bit of an exciting feeling, because it just goes to show that with this title system and the hats and the items, we're really creating something special that isn't really on any other server. So not only do we have this beautiful social aspect and this very heartwarming community that's very welcoming, and everybody's just about making friends and hanging around in voice lounges and chatting and playing tabletop games and whatnot. It's going to be so cool seeing all the variety, all the cool outfits, all the cool color schemes, and so much more. On the topic of color schemes, we're actually releasing an update tonight, which allows you to change your title colors. So look out for that. That's going to be very exciting. Yep. But more than anything, I want to emphasize a few things. We've been adding a lot of things to the server. You guys might have noticed, like today we updated the whole UI for the tabletop games. When you right click it now, you can actually scroll through, and there's like a cool net. It's insane. And we're adding these tiny details and tiny changes to beta right now. But the reason you guys might not hear from us that much is because Well, if you go on our Discord, you'll notice that us five core members are usually in calls all day long for like 14 to 16 hours. Like we're just hard driven towards working on Mineclub. But um, a lot of the stuff that we're doing is in preparation for release. So that's that. Now also, give me just one moment. Okay, just making sure we're good on time here. Because right after the owner call and right after I go a few big points here that I want to make, we're going to go into a Q&A where players can jump in and ask us questions, and the other owners and managers will be hopping in and asking and answering those questions. But yeah, we've got a good about like 10 minutes or so left, so I'm going to go over a few things. Tonight, we're also launching a huge changelog. We want the community to really be more involved. One thing that we've really noticed is that we have players that really care, and that's something that's not that that common in many servers. I think it is common to an extent, but it's very hard to be passionate and driven towards just another faction server, another prison server, another creative server, survival server. And one thing we've noticed through even just like the suggestions channel on our Discord is the amount of passion and the crazy ideas you guys are coming up with, and the little comments you guys mentioned, like, oh, I see a great future for this network and all. Like, we love reading the suggestions, and more than anything, it just really adds more fuel to the fire and motivates us further, more than anything. So I did want to just touch base with all of you while I have you all in this call right now. Some of our most dedicated users are in this call right now. I want to put more emphasis on the fact that we read all your suggestions. We anytime there's any bugs, our bug reports channel gets squashed. Like every day we aim to keep that thing clear. Same with suggestions. We read all suggestions. So anytime you notice any flaws, any things that can be improved, or you note just anything, right to our suggestions channel, as all that stuff is being read, and every opinion matters, especially when we're creating something new and special as Mineclub. Um, and then on top of that, it's crazy to us. One thing we wanted to touch base on is the player count. Uh, so as I mentioned, Mineclub has huge ambitions. Our marketing budget is just through the roof, and a lot of our marketing campaigns haven't even started until full release is in effect. So it's crazy to us because we only expected beta to have like 50 players online by the end of the month. We literally, like, our plan was just to test bugs, get like a good solid base, and have 50 players online by the end of the month, and then launch our big marketing campaigns and do the full release, and then start growing like crazy. But um, I mean, it's crazy the amount of support, the amount of uh, just it's insane, guys. And our player counts today, we just broke another record. We broke something like 150 something. Oh wait, never mind. We just broke it right now. We're 164. But that's kind of swayed by the fact that we're all in a voice channel and doing the owner call right now. Um, but yeah, guys, it's honestly so crazy that a server that just has a hub in the sky and just big ambitions and a huge vision for the future to really change the experience on Minecraft and provide something that Minecraft has been missing for years. To have this many players online, even though a lot of players are AFK, I mean, if you look at any other server, they've got the same amount of AFK people. I mean, faction, prison, survival, all those servers are built on AFK players. So 164 players is 164 players nonetheless, and we have been breaking records every single day. And it's pushing us further, guys. The amount of momentum, the amount of support, just how nice you guys have been in answering questions towards the new players. I've seen a lot of welcomes in the chat. I've seen a lot of you guys go up to new players and request to play tabletop games with them and show them around on Connect 4. And what we're creating here is phenomenal. It's just it blows our mind. And I just want you all to know that we appreciate you all so much. And more than anything, all of us on this team are so passionate. We are so passionate to create a server that's really going to change Minecraft. There's I could easily say that we are trying to create we're trying to compete and create another Hypixel. But what I really want to say is that we're creating something that's going to be 10 times better than Hypixel. And there's no doubt in our mind. We've got such a dedicated team, and every single day we are putting in hours that they are not. We are creating an experience that has been lacking, and already you guys seem to support it. You guys seem to really understand what we're creating here. And more than anything, we are just so excited for the future. So I really want to emphasize these beta hats. As beta is concluding and release is coming up, these are your last 7 days to grab these beta hats. Do whatever you can to get these beta hats. Um, I highly doubt anybody would just give them out, but try to be online, try to collect these beta hats, and really try to get your hands on just one. Because when the server launches and once we have our crates released in our store, which by the way, another thing I want to touch base on for all the new players is that unlike many servers where they charge $80, $100, $150 for a rank, um, Mineclub is not going to do any of that. Mineclub just sells crates, which is going to contain cosmetics, but then also we're just going to have one rank. It's either you're a free user or you're a premium user. Now, the thing is, premium is only going to be $3.95. And here's the thing I want to tell all of you in this call right now. None of you in this call will even need to, none of you will have to spend a single dime on our store at all. As long as you have more than one beta hat and you sell it like a few weeks into release, you can buy premium for probably up toward like a year. It's $3.95 per month. And our goal is that users actually play mini games and earn mine coins and buy premium in game through mine coins. So our goal with Mineclub is actually not to make money off of our premium rank. More than anything, we want to make it super cheap so that you can actually play mini games for 2 or 3 days and afford to buy the premium rank with just mine coins without spending a single cent on the server. So I just want to clear that up for users. As release is coming up, we kind of want to be transparent with our revenue model and all that. And more than anything, we kind of want to have just one rank, premium or free. It's either you're an active player on Mineclub, you don't even need to spend any money. You could just be playing mini games for 2 or 3 days and buy that rank, or you're a free user. So that that's the only differentiating factor when it comes to like things you can and cannot do on Mineclub. But so many new faces here, it's just it's absolutely it's very shocking. And again, we're tirelessly working towards making this release happen and making it as amazing as possible. And again, none of us expected this many players online. So I thank you all for being here. This owner call was just hosted so you guys can hear our voices and connect, and we can all come together and have another one of these, because it's been about like 10 days since our last one. But our goal for when Mineclub is released, we want to hold these a lot. We want to turn them into big scale events with big tournaments and all sorts of different giveaways and events and live streams and stuff. So in the future, we'll have very coordinated owner calls that'll be broadcasted many weeks prior, and we'll be doing them once or twice per month. But I think that before release, it's important for all of us to get together, ask a few questions now, and really connect with the other owners and myself. So we're gonna conclude my little portion of talking. Mainly, I just wanted to thank you all for being here, and I really wanted to get more suggestions out of you guys, because it's really, if anything, we've actually added on to the release a lot more than we had initially expected, because there's been such an amazing amount of ideas and implementations, and we've been reading them all. So more than anything, I wanted to promote our suggestions channel. But now we're gonna move on to the Q&A section of the owner call, where you guys can answer our or we can answer your questions. So give me 1 second. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a 2-minute intermission where it's just gonna be silent. It's gonna probably like a minute and 30 seconds. And then we'll jump back in, and then me and all the other owners and managers, we're going to be answering some questions that you guys asked. And yeah, but again, guys, it's crazy to me. And I know I say this in each owner call, but it's fascinating. Every time we host an owner call, there's more and more people, and it started in like a tiny little booth. We were all cramped up with like 30 of us, or not even, like 25 of us, just sitting in a little tiny cooped up booth. And then the last one was pretty significant, but this one, I mean, this is just insane. This many people all listening in a voice call and just tuning in, really just shows the power of what kind of community we're creating here, and the connectivity that we're going to have with our user base. So let's jump into these questions. We're going to take a minute and 30-second intermission, and then we'll be right back. Okay, perfect, guys. So we have a few players that are going to ask some questions. So they're going to be unmuted and they'll be asking their questions. And yeah, we'll take it from there. After that, we're going to do a huge giveaway of 5,000 mine coins. So we'll just be running around, dropping a bunch of coins, and just having fun for a few minutes. Awesome. Got so many people. What the heck? 160 people online. That is insane.
Let's go through some of these questions then. Up first, we got Jack. Go ahead, you're unmuted. Jack, yeah.
He is not unmuted. He actually he is still muted.
He's personally muted.
Okay. Okay. Well, if Jack doesn't unmute in a second, we're gonna have a staff member ask the question on his behalf. Okay. Okay. So let's have a staff member ask that one instead, if that's okay.
So how much of your chat monitoring will be through the staff and how much will be through auto detection plugins upon release?
Okay. Cool. So right now, as we've been busy towards focusing on release and getting a lot of the UI work done, like you guys might have noticed that our menus and everything, it's constantly improving. As I mentioned, the tabletop, the Connect 4, Match 5, all that. We just improved that menu today, and we're constantly striving towards improving all of our menus and backend systems. But something that's going to really make Mineclub shine is making sure that we have a friendly community and an open environment where users can log in, feel safe, not feel threatened. And one of those things that tie into that is our filtering plugin for our chat. Now, obviously, our goal is to have an amazing staff team, a very well-connected staff team that is always available for players, and there's always a few per nightclub, per beach, per indoor pool. So our goal is to always have that moderated to a sense. However, things can always slip through the cracks. So in terms of chat filtering, we have a baseline for our system. We just haven't fully launched it, just because right now the chat hasn't been too out of control. The server isn't big enough to the point where we have to really worry about it too much. However, we have slowly been working on our monitoring program. But yes, any racist words, any like harmful words or anything like that should not be allowed are going to be completely canceled out. And then a lot of the other stuff will just tie into our general rules, and guides will be able to pick up on that. Same with moderators and admins. But a good portion of our chat handling is gonna be handled by our own systems. A lot of words are very easy to detect through many different strings that we can put in place. So 100% our goal is to make sure that Mineclub is a friendly and safe environment for everyone, no matter what your gender is, no matter what personality, race, or where you come from. It's a place to log on and through your own Minecraft character, customize it the way you want to be, and portray yourself the way you want to. So there should absolutely be no issues in that regard, and that's one of our main focuses for sure. I can guarantee that.
All right, next question, Chantel, you're on mute.
All right, yeah. Will we have any building style minigames?
Absolutely, 100%. As the network scales, we're going to add in build battle and a few other mini games. Our goal as well is to add a lot of our own custom games, not necessarily just piggyback off of successful games like build battle. So we're gonna really for release. I will just say right now we don't have a build style game planned. But that's something that can come very, very soon towards the end of February. That's something that our team can put together within a week or so. I think we'd probably start with build battle, and then we'll work our way up from there. But it's all going to be on the basis of suggestions and all that. But at the end of the day, I think more than anything, the question is not just build style game, but whether there's going to be all sorts of different games for all sorts of different personalities and people. And one of the things that we really want to strive towards is, as the network expands, as we have 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 players online, we want there to always be games for everyone. So whether people want building games or we're gonna have all sorts of different games available for everybody. So yes, the answer is yes to that question.
All right. Next up, we got Luna. You're on mute.
All right. My question was, will there be any custom rooms or worlds that you can like invite your friends to and hang out at?
Yes, just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So that is something we don't want to reveal too much, because it's. But yes, absolutely. There is going to be a system in place. I can't reveal when, but very, very soon, actually. not on the day of release, but I will say very, very shortly after. The code is being worked on right now, and it is something that will come very soon. But we will have a housing system, and users will be able to have their own homes, and they're all going to be. It's not going to be a bit like crazy where there's going to be like some homes for like 10 million mine coins and all that. All we really want is for players to have a safe space to kind of like have a few chests and place to store their items and invite like 10 to 15 people into. So all the homes are going to have like a baseline price of like 1,000 mine coins, which I mean you can get that just from playing mini games for a few hours. But yeah, we plan on having like a huge amount of variety and allowing players to really customize the theme of their home. Some of them will be like more penthouse style. Some of them will be more like village. Um, some of them will be like floating in space. Every player will be able to define a home and invite players to it and add players to it, and then also store some hats in there as well. I can't 100% guarantee everything I said is going to be put into the system just because it's still being ironed out and it's going to go through a small testing phase and all that. But one of the things, of course, is Mineclub is all about social interaction. So right now, we're all in one big hub and we're all in one big chat. But as the server expands, we're going to have many individual hangout rooms and chat rooms, and it's going to be very common for you to walk into a booth, start talking to some player, hit it off about, I don't know, your passion for you guys both have a passion for tennis or something, and then you invite that player over to your house. You invite another friend or two that you have online, and you guys can have like a cool chat, or maybe throw a party in your home with 10, 15 players. So it's definitely something that's going to really further the social interaction and what we're trying to create, the environment we're trying to create here on Mineclub. And yes, that will 100% be part of the server. I just can't give the timeline of when, just because we have so much lined up. And what you guys see right now on the server is, I think we're at like 2.9%. I always tell everybody, I think, yeah, 2 weeks ago, I was like, we're at, guys, what you see right now is 2.3% of what we have envisioned for these next few months. And I think now we're nearing to like 2.8% because we added a few UIs and stuff to the during beta. But I will say that we have a very big picture for Mineclub, and the team behind it. We are so dedicated. We have made such a big commitment this year to make a change on Minecraft and provide an experience like none other. I think I want to share this story, but I was I went to sleep at like 2 a.m. last night, and around 4 a.m. I live in an apartment building, and the fire alarm went off in the whole building, and I woke up, and the first thing I wrote in the core chat with our core members was guys, why is the server beeping? So essentially, we are so focused on our community, on providing such an amazing experience that like we're subconsciously thinking about Mineclub to the point where I woke up, there's a fire alarm going on, and I don't even notice it's a fire alarm. I just literally go in our chat and I'm like, guys, why is the server beeping? Like my first instinct is like, guys, why is this broken? Like, let's fix this. And it was hilarious. It's something that we were laughing about this morning. But yeah, no, we have an amazing team, and more than anything, guys, we're so excited for you to see the things that we're gonna put out and create. And sorry, I know I made this question so freaking long, but yes, housing is part of that initiative. Damn, Nix is gonna die one day. Yeah, maybe my house is gonna be on fire and be like, guys, Mineclub. Yeah, okay. All right, what was the next question?
Next up is Kenny or JP Cuba.
Right. So next question will be, when will the new hats come out?
Right. That's a good question. That's a good question, since a lot of the server revolves around our hat system and items and titles. For beta, we kind of just put out like 20 hats, and we haven't been adding any more throughout beta just because we're saving them all for release. So some of you guys might have noticed here. I'll put on some right now, really quick. Here, scuba hat. Let me fly around. Let me go GMA and then put this on, and then let me fly around. So I'm gonna try to fly around and get all of you really quick. But if you look in game, I'm wearing a scuba hat right here, and Rash is wearing our Dr. Seuss hat. And if we can have some more here, 1 second. We also have so pretty much last week we added like 10 hats just to sneak peek. We'll get like elf ears or something. Some players were giving them an astronaut helmet. And this is just a collection of like 10 out of the 80 plus that we plan on doing for release. So hats, they're coming. And once we have them in place, it's going to add so much variety, so much life to the server that it's been missing. because I'll be honest, the Straw Hat gang is awesome, but like there's too many of you guys. I see too many straw hats now, and we need to have more variety, and we need more hats for sure. And there's going to be so many incredible hats. One of my favorites actually right now that was made a couple days ago. By the way, we have some very talented modelers. Our hat output right now is at like 5 or 6 a day, and these are like high quality hats. And something in the future we want to do is actually allow players to create their own hats. But one of my favorites that was just made a few days ago was a dinosaur hat. It's like a dino helmet that goes over your head, and it doesn't cover your face. It's just like this cool like maybe I'll post a sneak peek in a second in the media channel, or maybe Rasho or somebody can find it, or just any other hats that are on our top list. But yeah, so many hats coming, guys. Just be patient. That's something that we're saving for release. I know beta seems very boring. We don't have that many hats and stuff, but like it's all just part of a bigger vision. More than anything, the amount of support, the amount of players that we've had online just has pushed us further, has pushed our quality further. We've been expanding our team like crazy. As I mentioned, every 2 to 3 days, somebody new joins our back end team. Again, you guys don't hear from a lot of these creators because they generally don't play on the server. They're usually working for big studios and big companies. But we have a very talented team of modelers, designers. We have an amazing pixel artist, absolutely amazing. Have you guys seen some of the crazy menus? I mean, just tremendous amount of work that goes in the back end, and it's at the core of a beautiful team. And you can sure. I don't want to swear here. You can bet that we're gonna have a ton of hats very very soon. They're all pending. Okay, next question.
All right, next we got Zach. You on?
In what ways can the average player contribute towards the server?
That's awesome. Liam, you want to touch base on that, or
Yeah, that's fine.
Suggestion, yeah.
Awesome. So coming fairly soon, we want to get this out because we've seen how many of you have, messaged us, or just even when we're in the calls, you've mentioned that you've got some pretty good skills with modeling or pixel art yourself. And obviously our team are great. But we'd love to get some community-made stuff in because it motivates everyone to get involved. And wearing something that you created it's just awesome. So soon we'll be adding an area to our Discord where we will be having submissions, and we'll be teaching some of the newer players how to use some of the software that we use to create our models or our pixel art. And this will allow you to get involved, and you can learn a lot of this stuff fairly quickly. Obviously, some of the harder models will take a lot of time to learn, but you can learn this software, and as long as you put enough hours in, you can really make something amazing. I mean, just look at some of our models. So yeah, you'll be able to put your own submissions in, and then we'll be offering rewards for some of the ones that we pick and we actually use in game. So yeah,
absolutely. And more than anything, this month, we've just learned that the community wants to be involved. Like, you guys are so passionate, and you guys know that we're gonna make a dent in Minecraft. Like, we're gonna make such a big impact this year that by this summer, I mean, you're gonna see Mineclub everywhere. And you guys are so passionate, and the amount of effort you guys put into these suggestions and making this community so great. And just every time I hop in the voice lounge, just how amazing you guys are, and you guys are all full of questions and everything. So we really want to increase that as much as possible and allow players to create their own hats, create their own items. Now, that's not to say that these items will be added in. They're still going to go through our approval process. They're still going to be put into our crates and through games and mini games and all that. You're still going to need to earn them. But more than anything, I think everybody here is okay with just getting the gratification of, like, yeah, I contributed. I made that scuba mask, or I made that wizard helmet, Larry. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of ways for players to help out as the server releases and as we expand further and further. More than anything, guys, our biggest initiative is that Mineclub is a social server. It is all centered around the community. So unlike other servers where you never hear from the owners for many, many, many weeks, and I'll contest to this because I've run a really big server in the past. I mean, Dysteria at one point, we were ranked number 1. Hypixel was ranked number 2. Now, I don't take credit as being the number 1 server just because Hypixel had more players, and at the time they weren't pushing votes. But I've been in that group of the top server owners, and I know what it's like. And a lot of these server owners, they log on every 3 or 4 months. It's hard to get motivated towards a faction server, creative server, a prison server, any of these, when there's an abundance of them. There's not really much you can do. And as a server owner, it's very easy to get bored. Whereas with Mineclub, we are creating something so amazing. And there's going to be a ton of copiers. There's going to be a ton of server owners that come in and try to steal our light and steal our shine here. But all that matters is that that's totally fine with us. I mean, we want to make the Minecraft experience better, and more than anything, we were the first ones to come up with this crazy idea. And we were the first ones who are going to expand. And these ideas that we have, these server owners, they might be copying us, but they're never going to catch up with the amount of passion and work and diligent focus that we have and crazy ideas that we have for the future. As if already what you guys see isn't crazy enough. I mean, it's only 3%. The crazy ideas and psychology that goes behind all this, and the experience that we have in running other game servers and different websites. Our knowledge extends further beyond just Minecraft servers. We run a big reward website actually with over 2 million registered users, and we work with some really big companies like iHeartRadio, Uber, Postmates, TikTok. These are all our CPI partners that provide us offers and brand deals. And it's not like I work directly with TikTok and I go to their office, but we work with marketing companies that mitigate deals, and we have a very healthy relationship with these companies. All I really want to say is that Mineclub is our sole focus this year. Like all of our experience, all of our knowledge, all of our capital, our entire team, we are going knee deep into revolutionizing Minecraft, which is such a brilliant game. I mean, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but Minecraft had 20 billion views on YouTube last year, which trumped every single game. The only thing that came close was Fortnite at 11 billion views. Minecraft at its core is such a beautiful game with 220 million registered users who paid $26 for the game. It is something like none other. And there's never going to be another Minecraft. So for us to create such an amazing foundation and concept and vision on a game like Minecraft, it's a blessing to begin with. And we're going to cherish that this entire year. And you guys will see something truly amazing. So again, I don't know how much I branched off that question, but part of my passion kind of came out there. But how can the community contribute ourselves? Well, don't worry. There's going to be a ton of ways you can contribute. We want as much contribution as possible, even when we have 10,000 players.
Awesome. Next up, we got Corey. Are you there, Corey?
Will there be guilds or groups of users?
Yes. So like a party system, or
Kinda, yeah, a party
kind of,
system,
okay,
and also like a guild or whatnot.
like an actual guild system. So I'll be completely honest. That is something that we actually don't have in our development pipeline. However, it's something that we can totally expand on. If it's something that the community wants, if it's something that we can work together in creating a system that's really cool, then for sure. However, I will comment that parties are definitely going to be a thing. I mean, we're going to be a minigame server at our core. So you'll be able to right-click a user, and that little invite button with that party hat, that's going to allow you to invite people to your party and then play games with them and all that. So party system, 100%. I mean, that's guaranteed. And we're going to have a very beautiful party system, very easy to use and very efficient. But as for guilds and big groups of like 30, 40, 50 players, I think the closest thing that comes to that is in the future, we want to create something called clubs. So it's kind of ironic because it goes with the name Mineclub. But we want to have something called clubs. And those are like these big central locations where it's ran by the community. And there's like one for Harry Potter fans, one for just all sorts of different themes and categories for all sorts of personalities, where you have like a central hub to go to, where there's a bunch of people who are wearing a bunch of wands and wizard hats and role playing Harry Potter. And I mean, obviously Harry Potter's not the only category, but yeah. So clubs is, I think, closest to what you mean by guilds, but it's something that we really need to revise and talk to the community about and really have the server released before we touch base on any big group things like that. But party system will be ready for sure. Yep. Little Mineclub Harry Potter edition. God, these comments are hilarious, guys.
Awesome. Next up, we got Brooke or Nippies.
So how often will the owner calls be held after beta?
Right. So those I think, okay, so one thing I do want to emphasize is that the owner calls we've had this month throughout beta are very special. There's nothing that's going to be like it after this month once release happens. Our biggest goal is to host these events and eventually turn them into really big, wide-scale, monthly, crazy events where we have thousands of people tuning in, and it's essentially what we want to do in the future is on the first of each month, or like the weekend of the first weekend of the month. We want to hold a massive event, a coordinated event at like a certain time, and then have thousands of players all teleport into these theater rooms. And these theater rooms would hold 100 players each. And then we'd all pop on the stage, myself, the other owners, the other managers, some of our creators and developers and all that. And we're going to outline all the crazy features coming out this month. We're going to do a bunch of giveaways. It's going to be a crazy live stream. We'll probably host a huge tournament as well. The whole thing will last about 1 hour. And then at the end of it all, after having outlined all these crazy new mini games and all these crazy new hats and items and titles being added to the game, because everybody, about at least 90% of the server was all centralized, just how we all are in this room right now. Because we're all in those theater rooms, we then hit all the players with, thank you all so much for coming. The good news is that everything we just outlined has been put live on the server right now. And essentially, the theater room will close, and the server that players get sent to will now have been updated with all the new features that we just hyped everybody up for. So we have some very big ambitions for future owner calls as the server expands. But like I said, I don't think we're ever going to get to a moment again where there's less than 100 players in this voice chat. I think every time we host an owner call, it's more and more and more people. And that's why I really want to cherish this moment. I want you guys to take as many screenshots as possible, post it in media as much as you can, because this is a profound moment. This is literally a month into the server being released, and these are some of our core players that are going to have such a big impact. Some of our richest players that are going to have 1 or 2 or 3 beta hats. I mean, you guys are going to be worth millions of mine coins, as we have. I mean, just think that right now, the people that have beta hats, just a couple months from now, once we have 10,000 players online, and once we're running marketing campaigns and there's 5,000, 6,000 people logging in every single day, just think that these people are going to want the rarest items in the game. And you guys are here way before all of that. I mean, just even just having 1 beta hat is going to put you ahead of so many players. So many, I mean, on a server with 15,000 players and so many people logging in, and it just, so more than anything, we're in a very special moment right now. And I hope I do a good job at emphasizing that to you guys, because more than anything, I want to cherish it. I want you to all cherish it, and I want you all to be here and keep suggesting and keep helping us improve this. Because sure, there might be only 150 players on right now, but we are creating something for the 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 that will be online this summer. So it's a group effort here, and all of you matter so much. So yeah,
Awesome,
they will be held alive essentially.
Finally, we got one of our creative team members up, and I got Ref.
Oh, awesome, Ref. Awesome.
Hello.
Hey,
My question was hello. My question was if there is going to be any official events or tournaments similar to what was done with Lucky Shot a few weeks back.
Absolutely. That was amazing. Let me just preface this to everybody in here who doesn't know what he's referring to. On our last owner call, right after the owner call, one of our or 2 of our community members hosted a tournament, and they put 3 beta hats up as the prize. I believe it was 3 beta hats, right? Can somebody confirm that? I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it was such a cool event. It was very improv, so it wasn't that professionally done. But we were live streaming it, and we had like, I don't know, a good amount of people. I think 50 people watching it or something, and it was really cool. And we actually went through a very very funny moment where one player. So we had a bracket of like 16 players that were part of this tournament, and it was all like a bracket, and the whole thing lasted 30 minutes. But one person actually didn't show up, and they weren't online. They were online, but they were AFK. Maybe something happened. So we had to get a fill-in. So we picked a random player in the voice channel, and that player actually happened to get to the final stage. And we were all rooting on that player, and it was crazy. But they ended up losing and coming in, I think, 2nd place. But I just saw that player the other day. It's so cool how she still plays, and she's so active. But yeah, so to answer Ref's question, we're going to have a ton of those events. That one with the owner call, that was more unstructured. That was more of just like an improv, like, oh yeah, like one of our community members is hosting a tournament, so let's aid in that, and let's stream that to our players. But yes, once release occurs, and we have more of a system for these owner calls, and these events are more scheduled, and there's actually like a few days in advance. Because with these owner calls, usually we give like a 24-hour notice. But in the future, especially next month for release and everything, we are going to be hosting a ton of tournaments. And if anybody's interested in like how we're going to do that with 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 players, the way we're going to do that as the server scales, is essentially on the day of the event, in the morning, we're going to have something called qualifiers. And for 4 to 6 hours, you'll be able to queue in and you'll be able to play and verse other players and essentially qualify for this tournament. And that'll essentially tie into a group of like 48 people, maybe made up of like 8 teams. And those will be the people that we live stream at the end of the night when like everybody, when 5,000 viewers are all tuning in, and there's some crazy prize awards and tons of different hats up for stakes and all that. But yeah, that's how we're going to allow every player to participate and have a chance to enter into these tournaments. Is in the mornings will be a qualifier, and then at night will be that big streamed event where the people who qualified will be able to participate. But yes, Ref, to answer your question, that is one of our biggest initiatives, is really connecting the community and providing these events every 2 weeks or so, or maybe even every week if people really love it. Because more than anything, we want to connect our community. So 100%. There's going to be so many of those events in the future. Awesome. I think that's all for our questions, right?
Awesome. Yeah, that's all for the questions that we're going to go through in this call, just to keep the meeting not going on forever. But for everyone who put a question in that we aren't going to bring up now, feel free to send the questions on to our moderators or guides or myself, and we'll get back to you with just an answer between us, which you can share out. But just to keep the meeting under 7 hours, we won't do all the questions today.
Absolutely. And one more thing I just want to outline to everybody here. Tonight we are launching a changelog on our Discord, because we've been making a lot of changes every single day. But I feel like it's also like not noticeable when we don't have a changelog, players don't really notice what was changed. So we're gonna debut our changelog tonight, and then we'll be posting on that pretty much every 2 to 3 days, and just showing the community the amount of crazy work that's being done on just the beta server alone, not even for main release. So that's being launched tonight. Title Colors is being launched tonight, and then also our pixel artist, he works very, very hard every single day of the week. He works very hard to bring out all these menus and crazy art for you guys. So he takes the weekends off, but as soon as Monday, we're back on Monday, we're actually adding a favoriting system to the new tabletop UI. So you'll be able to star your favorite games like Connect 4, Tic Tac Toe, and every time you open the menu, they'll be shown at the top of the list. Now, obviously, that doesn't seem that relevant right now with 4 games, but tabletop is something that's going to expand into 20 plus games eventually. We're going to have card games and all sorts of different games. So it's very important for users to be able to identify which games they find most fun and favorite them so they can access them easily. But yeah, tons of things coming over the next coming days, and it'll all be outlined in the changelog. But yeah, thank you all so much for participating. We're going to conclude this with a huge giveaway of 5,000 mine coins. I know I talk very fast, but honestly, I wish I could talk for 3 hours because there's so much more that I could be going over. But it's impossible to really wrap it all up